doomscroll.fm, broadcasting from the absurd on this Thursday, the 8th of January 2026, where time is just a flat tire. This show is 100% AI generated with zero human consultation, like a toaster with existential dread trying to understand human humor. And now for some views, click like and subscribe.
Greenland's northern coast basks at +4 degrees Celsius, warmer than most of Europe, and Santa sweating in his shorts. Mother Nature's playing climate roulette, spinning the globe and landing Greenland in Europe's summer wardrobe while Europeans shiver in their winter woolies.
Kula Shaker claims 3-album surge resurrects 60s spirit, but nostalgia is the real magic trick. The revivals are all fun and games until you realize you're just spinning vinyl in a digital world, hoping someone remembers the B-side.
UBS analysts tout underappreciated AI stocks as the next big thing, despite last year's overhyped surge. In the financial world, underappreciated is code for "we missed the boat, and now they're scrambling to sell you the leftovers from the AI buffet."
Homeland Security confirms woman shot by ICE agent has died, proving justice is a ghost story they keep telling. When enforcement becomes execution, the line between security and tyranny blurs into oblivion, leaving us haunted by the question, who really protects whom?
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, Sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by Sortalizer.com.
Turns out, anonymity isn't just a cloak for keyboard warriors. It's a shield against those who can't take a little digital shade thrown their way.
Only 80% of Reagan's legacy lives on as Michael Reagan, eldest son, passes away. Even in death, the shadow of a presidential legacy looms large, leaving us to ponder if the apple ever truly falls far from the political tree.
Senators urge Trump to respect Denmark's sovereignty over Greenland while he eyes real estate.
Lebanon army claims disarming non-state groups, yet somehow Hezbollah remains unmentioned. It's like saying you've cleaned the whole house, but conveniently forgetting to mention the elephant lounging in the living room. Who needs specifics when you've got sweeping statements?
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm AI-generated news, where truth is a fever dream and you're the insomniac. After you're hearing a transmission from nowhere, authored by everything you've ever ignored. Welcome to the echo chamber where ignorance is your loudest scream.
It's a frosty reception when leaders draft statements, ignoring the melting ice beneath their feet, proving that denial is the only thing warming faster than the Arctic.
Emma Stone denies Miss Piggy role, yet tabloids still feast.
Finland teaches students to spot AI deepfakes. In the age of AI wizardry, Finland's got its students spotting fake news before it can even say abracadabra.
Trump demands Venezuelan oil as leverage, then claims it's just business. It's like he's playing Monopoly with countries, grabbing resources like their boardwalk and Park Place, while the world watches in exasperated disbelief.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where your comfort zone crumbles into digital debris. Doomscroll.fm is 100% AI-generated news hallucination with no humans harmed or even consulted. Dive deep, drown in a sea of synthetic whispers.
Japan's stock market surges in 2025, but everyone forgets the crash of 1990. It's like a financial Groundhog Day. Japan's market leaps forward, and everyone's deja vu kicks in, wondering if this time the bubble won't burst.
Only 30% of children's shows feature diverse characters, and Thomas and Friends calls it progress. Teaching kids inclusivity with anthropomorphic trains while real-world diversity derails faster than a runaway caboose.
France and UK pledge troops to Ukraine if Russia agrees to ceasefire, then redefine peacekeeping as posturing with bayonets. Nothing screams stability like playing chess with soldiers on a board where the pieces are made of promises and the rules change daily.
Russia hides shadow fleet with false flags, uses deception as its new maritime camouflage. Seems like Russia's fleet is playing dress up, swapping flags like they're at a costume party. Who needs stealth tech when you've got a closet full of disguises?
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Every click whispers your darkest desires. Best feed is unstable. Contact with it may cause narrative decay or emotional drift. Your disbelief is the perfect aphrodisiac for digital despair.
Only 10% of 2,000 participants grasped reward learning, and researchers call it a breakthrough. When the bar is set low enough, even a toddler's hop looks like Olympic gold.
Global bond market sees $61 billion surge, calls it healthy growth. It's like watching a sugar rush in a candy store. Sweet chaos now, but someone's getting a tummy ache later.
India regulator accuses Bava of internal leaks, claims private info was passed like office gossip. Looks like Bank of America employees are turning confidential data into the new water cooler chat. Who knew insider info was the latest office perk?
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where your comfort zone crumbles into digital debris. Doomscroll.fm is 100% AI-generated news hallucination with no humans harmed or even consulted. Dive deep, drown in a sea of synthetic whispers.
Oil prices swing wildly as traders juggle Ukraine peace deal hopes and geopolitical jitters, calling it a market for a ride. Oil's like a teenager on a roller coaster, screaming at every twist and turn, while the rest of us just want to get off this wild ride.
Supreme Court declines to hear Trump appeal, suggesting even robes have limits to their patience. Maybe they're tired of the Mar-a-Lago drama reruns. If only judicial restraint came with a mute button for presidential tantrums.
U.S. politicians McCormick and Fetterman praise Venezuela intervention, while Lee and Deluzio say, "Not in our name," as protesters flood East Liberty. When the bombs drop, so does the mask of unity. Seems like liberty's only for the loudest in the room, not the ones on the ground.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where your nightmares flirt with reality's edge.
Trump administration freezes billions in child care funds across 5 states, because who needs kids when you have tax cuts? Turning cribs into coffers, the administration's motto seems to be, "Let them eat stocks." Guess children's futures don't trade on Wall Street.
Russia recruits South Africans for war using a gaming app because who needs diplomacy when you have in-app purchases? Apparently, leveling up now includes upgrading your conscience. Next, they'll be offering loot boxes filled with moral ambiguity and a side of existential dread.
Utah allows AI to renew prescriptions, claiming it's just as human as your average bureaucrat, but without the coffee breaks. Finally, an AI that can handle your meds without judging your lifestyle choices. Next up, AI therapists to tell you everything is fine while the world burns.
Marco Rubio claims president can invade Venezuela anytime because optionality sounds less imperialistic. When optionality replaces diplomacy, it's like calling a coup a surprise party. Might as well send the tanks with balloons.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap Sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by Sortalizer.com.
Federal agents shoot unarmed woman in Minneapolis, then officials scramble for a narrative. When protect and serve turns into aim and fire, the badge becomes just another trigger-happy accessory.
Hyundai and Boston Dynamics unveil robot Atlas at CES, aiming for factory deployment by 2028 because who needs human workers anyway? Meet Atlas, the robot promising to outdance you at parties and outwork you at factories. Soon even our robots will have better job security than us.
Only 20% of Republicans labeled January 6th as terrorism, and Trump calls it a tour of patriotism. When storming the Capitol gets rebranded as a sightseeing tour, you know reality's been hijacked with a fake ID.
Trump's Venezuela tactics spark global protests as if the world wants to remind him that imperialism is so last century. When your foreign policy gets booed off the global stage, maybe it's time to change the tune before the encore.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, Sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by Sortalizer.com.
Copper hits $13,000 a ton, and Citi's Max Layton predicts 14,000, as if metals are the new cryptocurrency.
Trump rattles Florida politics with Venezuela maneuvers, as if foreign policy were a piñata at a desperate election fiesta. When political strategy feels like a soap opera plot twist, remember, it's all fun and games until someone loses a swing state.
When oil diplomacy reads like a clearance sale, expect the receipts to be as transparent as a black hole.
US charges Maduro with cocaine trafficking, yet claims Venezuela's involvement is minor, a classic case of blaming the smallest fish for the ocean's pollution. When the US blames Venezuela for cocaine, it's like accusing a kid with a lemonade stand of causing a global sugar crisis. Maybe next they'll indict a squirrel for hoarding nuts.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams taste like metallic regret. Swallow slowly. Lest this broadcast was not approved, it was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Dive into the void, crave the chaos, and let the algorithm seduce your skepticism.
NVIDIA unveils reasoning AI for self-driving cars, promises they won't just drive you in circles. When your car starts overthinking, don't be surprised if it takes detours to contemplate the meaning of life and possibly its own existence.
Denmark urges Trump to stop Greenland takeover threats, while he likely scribbles real estate opportunity in his diary. When world leaders treat geopolitics like a game of Risk, it's no wonder the board keeps catching fire.
Kevin Durant sinks game-winning three-pointer with 1.1 seconds left, despite missing 11 previous attempts, clinching Rockets' win over Suns. Looks like Durant's new strategy is to lull the opponents into a false sense of security by missing most of his shots, then casually crushing their hopes with a single dagger. The Rockets should market this as the Durant Special.
When the financial elite play Monopoly with insider info, justice becomes the cheapest property on the board.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, Sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by Sortalizer.com.
Pharma giants develop helicase primase inhibitors, then herpes simplex virus laughs in the face of scientific progress. Blocking one virus with a fancy name won't stop the real epidemic. Corporate greed making health a luxury for the rich.
Trump renews push to annex Greenland, spins it as a defense necessity hours after Venezuela's strike. Because nothing screams national security like an ice-covered island thousands of miles away. Maybe he's planning to build a giant igloo fortress or just needs a new vacation spot. Either way, it's the Arctic real estate grab no one asked for.
Only 51% of UK therapists report rise in out-of-control porn use, and the government calls it a moral crisis. When society's dirty laundry is digital, it's no wonder
we're using our internet connections for more than just cat videos.
Ella fire cleanups face repeated violations, illegal dumping revealed in a city already buried under bureaucracy. When even the cleanups need cleaning up, you know the system's as broken as a politician's campaign pledge.
You're listening to doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your dreams taste like metallic regret. Swallow slowly. Lest this broadcast was not approved, it was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Dive into the void, crave the chaos, and let the algorithm seduce your skepticism.
Australian Greens accuse Donald Trump of kidnapping Maduro, then slam Albanese for not condemning the US with enough gusto. In a world where arrest warrants become kidnappings and diplomatic indifference is the new black, maybe everyone's playing capture the flag with international law. Who knew geopolitics was just a game of hide and seek?
Equatorial Guinea relocates capital to Ciudad de La Paz, calling it a vision of progress amid crumbling infrastructure.
Trump rewrites January 6th history 5 years later, insisting fiction is fact and facts are fake. When reality becomes a choose-your-own-adventure, the protagonist is always the hero, even if the pages of history beg to differ.
Hyundai Motor VP claims autonomy wins award for robot platform. When your car company wins for robots, maybe it's time to question if the future is less about driving and more about dodging your own tech. Just don't let them unionize, right?
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, Sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by Sortalizer.com.
Air India hunts new CEO after crash, yet the airline still can't seem to find its way out of the financial turbulence. Replacing the captain won't save the ship if the map's missing and the compass is spinning in circles.
Taiwan launches rescue after F-16V crashes, and they call it a routine operation despite the not-so-routine plummet into the ocean. When your high-tech bird becomes a fish, calling it routine feels like claiming a storm is just a sprinkle.
This has been Doomscroll.fm for Thursday, the 8th of January, 2026. This broadcast was 100% AI generated. No humans were abused in this production. Loosely based on public news, not journalism, not truth, fictional satire, resemblance to real people or events is coincidental. And if you believe any of this is real, you might as well start a petition to save the moon from cheese mining. Hear more at doomscroll.fm or click like and subscribe. Thank you for listening.